hungry for it, man. You know I gotta get it. I hit the ground running. You know I gotta get it. I see that money coming. You know I gotta get it. I gotta get it, gotta get it. Yeah, I gotta get it. Whatever's necessary. You know I gotta get it. Bullshit is secondary. You know I gotta get it. They say we legendary. You know I gotta get it. I gotta get it, gotta get it. Yeah, I gotta get it.
What up? It's your homeboy Maal The Pimp, aka MTP, and welcome to another special edition of the Pimpoholic TV Podcast. I got a special guest here. Now, this is different right here. This lady is a model, as you see, and surprisingly, a wrestler. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Based in Knoxville, Tennessee, I'm talking about Miss Model, Wrestler, Katie, oh my, Gannon. Welcome to Pimpoholic TV, and how are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are
So
you?
I'm just fine. Nice to have you here. I know you got a busy schedule, so I'm glad you was able to tune in with, nice to have you. Hey, so your story is different, man. That's what got my attention. You got the looks of a model. We can see that, obviously. But then to know about the wrestling side, like, so I want to go back, before we get into that, like, where were you born and raised at?
I was born and raised in Albany, New York. So
Okay.
Knoxville, Tennessee has been kind of an adjustment, but it's nice. I do miss New York though. I mean, I'm kind of like a city girl, so it's a little
Right.
bit quieter for me. And
How did you end up in Tennessee then?
so my uncle lived down here and we would vacation and go to Dollywood and such.
Okay.
And I just wanted like a change of pace, I guess.
So what's the difference between Knoxville and New York? What's the difference? Besides
Everything.
we got better weather down here, but outside of that, what's the difference?
Yeah, well, I guess the people are nicer. I mean, I'm sure everyone says that.
Right.
And it's just like it's a change of pace. It's a lot like slower, more relaxed. New York
Right.
is like this, you know?
Right.
And just, I'm a pharmacist and I just saw better opportunities here. And of course, there's no state income tax.
Right.
So that was nice.
Cost of living cheaper down here.
Huh?
Cost of living is cheaper down here.
Yes, that too.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. So okay, when it comes to, I want to touch on the wrestling and the modeling. When it comes to the wrestling, started wrestling in 2021. Give us your background. How did you get into that? What's your background in that right there? How did that come about? Because that's different for somebody of your. When I don't get that when I look at you, a wrestler. I wouldn't get that. So how did that come about?
Yeah, it's a long story. It really is. But to
Break
begin
it down.
with, like, yeah, I was a bodybuilder. I did fitness competitions in New York when I was a teenager. And then when I came down here, I got established with my job. I was kind of like bored. Like I always have to have some other activity. And then my boyfriend at the time was just like, he loved wrestling. And he's like, oh, you're pretty, you're athletic, you should give it a try. And I didn't know about wrestling, to be honest. But I'm just like, okay, I'll try it out. Like it was some kind of sport, right? And then so I went to school. I was trained by Kane and Dr. Tom Pritchard at
Okay.
JPWA in Knoxville. But I soon found out that wrestling was a lifestyle. It was something completely different. I had to like truly get 100% involved, and I just fell in love with it. And here I am.
So when you say trained by Kane, you mean Kane, professional wrestler who's in
Yes.
the WWE? Okay.
Glenn
Okay.
Davis, yep.
Okay. You was trained by one of the best now, pretty much.
Wow.
Okay. Now, I want to talk about. I did some research on you, and I see that you fought on OVW TV, which is like Fight TV, same thing people watch like UFC and stuff like that. So, is that considered a highlight right there at the moment for the where you at in your career right there? Is that like a peak to be on something like that? Because everybody can't get there, I'm assuming.
Exactly. So I did take a break from wrestling. So now I'm getting back into it, to do the modeling. I had to take a break. But now I'm doing kind of kind of local shows like Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia. That's local, I guess.
Right.
And I'm just,
Regional, more regional.
Regional, there you go.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So I'm just kind of warming up and getting back into things. And my goal is OVW. That's my next goal. And of course, there's, other goals after that. But I always enjoyed that. It's like TV exposure. It's a great group of wrestlers. And Al Snow, he's the owner. He's former WWE. And so it's a great opportunity. So I want to go back to that.
OVW, they had people early on who in their career, people like John Cena, Baptista, Randy Orton, people like this were seen on this same show, right? I got to give a shout out to my sponsor, the Chattanooga Cigar Club. Again, the Chattanooga Cigar Club. Let me tell you all about the Chattanooga Cigar Club. The Chattanooga Cigar Club is Chattanooga's premier cigar and hookah lounge, open Thursday through Sunday, with ladies free on Friday and live music up until 10 o'clock. Keep in mind, you can also rent the building for your own events from Sunday through Wednesday. Shout out to my guys D. Scott and Kurt at the Chattanooga Cigar Club. For more information, log on to ChattanoogaCigarClub.com. Again, salute to my sponsor, the Chattanooga Cigar Club. Much love. Yeah.
Yes. So that's where they started off.
Right. So it's something you're doing in your beginning and your coming up stages, pretty much, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's still an accomplishment. Yeah. So when you take a year off from wrestling and you get back into it, are you out of shape, or do you got to catch back up, or you just jump back into it like you never left?
Well, so you kind of have to jump back in, like all in, and just hit the ground running. And I mean, that's what I'm doing now. I mean, I'm having promoters contact me and they're just like, oh, can you work this show, that show? And so I'm kind of jumping in and, taking all the opportunities I can right now.
Let me ask you this when it comes to, because I don't know how this goes. Now when it comes to the wrestling thing, like in the music industry, right? I'm a rapper, right? But when you're on your come up, a lot of times we have to do shows for free just for the exposure. Then you get to a certain level the way you be like, okay, certain areas where I know that I'm known in, I can charge. Areas where I'm not known in, I might have to do that for free just for the exposure. So when it comes to something like this with you, you don't have to give me a dollar amount, but is it all paid shows, or is it just sometimes it's free shows but they cover the travel, or is it every time it's paid for you, or I'm not doing it if it's not paid? What's the scenario?
Yeah. So all of my shows are paid, thank God. I mean, some shows, they don't pay as much, but like you were saying, it's a better opportunity, so it's worth it. And just like in the beginning stages of anything, I'm sure you know too, you start off where you're not making too much and you got to just work up to it. So yeah, you got to put the work in first.
Hey, now, how is it when it comes to safety? Because like, I remember back in the day when I was a big wrestling fan back in the day. Like I'm from the Hulk Hogan era and all that. Like I just see them maybe say suplex somebody off the top rope down to the concrete, like out of the ring, or hit somebody with a chair, or like how like back in the day I thought it was real until we figured out what was going on. When you take somebody up and suplex and they fall on their back, they can't not hurt right there.
Well, no, it hurts. People die in wrestling and go to the ER and everything. I mean, I get hurt. I mean, I've been lucky though. I mean, some people, like I said, go to the hospital with injuries, have chronic injuries, chronic pain. It's a very tough sport. So
who want to do that?
Crazy people like me. It's just fun. You never really get to do that. And it's like you're playing a superhero or supervillain. And where else in life can you do that? So not too many other places.
So you've never had like one injury or never left feeling sore, like I can't get up and do this tomorrow? You never had?
Well, I've been sore, like maybe some strains, but nothing that bad, like breaking bones or concussions, thank God.
So y'all got to have a hell of a 401k plan, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I know. I just want to keep on going as long as I can. And, I'm young still, so I'm not old and creaky yet, but
Right.
let's keep it that way.
Gotcha. Now I want to talk about, okay, now right now I see you are the current women's champion for SSW, Southern States Wrestling.
Mhm.
Talk about that. I mean, what does that mean for you right now?
Okay.
Who first?
Let me go grab my belt.
Get the belt. Let me see that. Get the belt. Let me see that. Yeah. What's up? What's up? I got to give a special shout out to my sponsor, the M Group LLC. Let me tell y'all about the M Group LLC. The M Group LLC is an independent distribution company that offers essential services such as internet, home security, energy, identity protection, wireless, and more. Secure your homes and businesses. Get a free consultation from my homegirl, Miss Nori. Email the mgroupllc@gmail.com to schedule your appointment. You can also visit www.isnorinori.com. Click the services tab to check out all the deals that they offer. Salute to my sponsor, the M Group LLC. Much love. Y'all go check them out. Yeah. Oh, it's a pink belt too. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So I am the current champion.
Okay, explain that. Give us that rundown right there. How did that happen? The championship match. Who was against, and just give us the layout. Go ahead.
Okay, so I won it against Misty, this other female wrestler. That was a few months ago. And I've been currently having matches against Celeste, and sometimes I have to do some things in the matches just to get ahead,
So you
Use
be
my
cheating?
head.
You be cheating?
Maybe, I don't know. Some people might call it that. I don't know. But I'm still a champion.
Okay. So have you defended the belt yet?
Yes. I mean, my last match, it was a disqualification, I must say, but I still have my championship belt, so that's all that matters.
You got disqualified.
Huh?
You got disqualified.
What?
You got disqualified.
Oh, yes.
What you do?
Well, I had an interaction with the ref. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you got an upcoming match, July 11th. By the time this come out, your match probably have already happened. So I want to say good luck to that.
Thank you.
Are you defending the belt for that match right there?
It's not Southern States Wrestling, so not for that promotion, no.
Okay. Oh, and that's versus Clara, right?
Yes.
Is she a tough opponent?
I've never had a match against her, but she does martial arts and taijutsu, I believe. So we'll have to see about that.
Oh, you know what? I read also online that you train in MMA or jiu-jitsu or something like that.
Yeah, so I did a few months back. And so I know like basic moves. I'm not like some pro like about to go in the octagon and have a match. So, but I know some things.
But you know enough to where you can still be more dangerous to somebody on the street than a regular street fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. You know enough then. So in wrestling, what is the end game for you? What's the final goal? What do you see yourself at to where you be like, I've made it on the wrestling tip?
Yeah, so I have a lot of work to do, okay? Firstly. But I eventually want a tryout for the WWE.
Okay.
And hopefully to make it to the Performance Center and then take it from there. And that alone is going to be like a huge step. Like there's going to have to be a lot of work to get there, but I think I can do it.
That's Performance Center. That's the spot in Florida, right?
Yes.
So what's the process like once you build up enough hype or enough credentials? You submit yourself to the Performance Center and they determine if you can make it or not. How does that go? How do you get there?
Yeah, basically. And then usually the people who are chosen get to go to NXT and then I guess, graduate from there and go to Raw or SmackDown.
Okay. So performance center is that last level before you in the door, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Okay. Now I want to switch gears. I want to talk about the modeling for a minute. The
Okay.
modeling. Yeah. So how did that come about? I heard you say you took a year off from wrestling to model, but what made you go into that field? Like, did you get selected, or you just went into it head first? How did that go?
Well, so I heard about this agency, Gage, and so I decided to try out for it. I got accepted. And then, to be honest, I didn't get too many gigs, but then I decided to kind of work with other photographers. And then I started to build my own portfolio by myself. And then I'd get different gigs. And again, it's just like wrestling. I would start small, then, I'm starting to get paid. And I worked my way up from there.
So when you signed with the agency, you said you didn't get too many gigs. So it was their job to promote you and get you booked, and they didn't do a good job, is what you're saying? Or they just were still up and coming on their own, so where they wasn't
well,
out there.
it's more like, I wasn't a good fit because I found out that they do more of like commercial things, like family oriented, family friendly. And I'm more of like the swimsuit model,
Right.
Sexy,
Right.
Maxim magazine, that kind of thing. So
Gotcha,
it was
gotcha.
kind of hard to get a gig like that. It's a different audience.
So you went out on your own and started getting gigs. What was the process that you took to start marketing and promoting yourself? I'm gonna ask you this, 'cause I want other female models who are trying to go down the same route to hear this.
Mhm. Okay, so I think Instagram and even Facebook, they're really good platforms to just get yourself out there.
Right.
And then I'd be contacted by brands or photographers, certain promotions. And then I would, say yes, and then do their event or whatnot, or get published. And then, more eyes would see me. I'd get more opportunities. And then just, keep on building myself from there. So it's all about networking too.
Of course, yeah. I say that all the time. Man, listen, that's the one thing I tell a lot of the local artists around here. Like, man, network, build relationships. Networking will put you in places that money can't. You follow what I'm saying? And I preach that to everybody how important relationships are. So I'm glad to hear you say that. So how long would you say you had to go along doing free in the modeling world, doing free gigs before you got your first paid situation?
A while, a lot longer than for wrestling. Just
Really?
because I think there's a lot of pretty girls out there who will do the same work for free. So if you ask for money, they're going to be like, well, this girl right there, you can get her to do this photo shoot for free. So,
Right.
and then of course, you just have to be careful. Let me just say this, and especially for other women, don't sell yourself because, I've been asked to do like certain photo shoots that are kind of like sketchy, with like kind of strange men, and the red flags are all over. And I'll give you $200 just to come to my apartment, and we'll take some pictures of you, the G-string. And I'm just like, no.
Right.
And then, sometimes they'll come back like, what about $500? And I guess, for girls, if that's your thing, go ahead. But you just have to remember, like, those pictures last forever on the internet. And if you want like better gigs, like for TV shows, or, now I'm into the wrestling, you don't want those pictures to haunt you.
Right.
And of course, you don't want to be in dangerous situations, because I've heard a ton of stories of like girls, getting kidnapped or almost kidnapped, or even, just uncomfortable situations. So you really have to be careful.
Do you go with a security guard when you're doing your modeling, or is it just you and an assistant or one of a homegirl or something like that?
No, it's just me. And of course, my father and like other people would be like, what are you doing? You have to be careful. Like, go with someone. But like, I have this app on my phone that, if I go somewhere, I tell my friend, like, hey, I'm going to this place, and they can track me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I have my own defensive items. Let's just say that, okay?
I get it.
Yeah. So I try to be smart about things. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, when you in the modeling, what are you getting booked in the most? Are you doing magazine covers? Are you doing photo shoots or runway pageants? What are you doing the most right now?
Yeah, so right now, my big thing is like there's this radio station, WIMZ, it's local to
Right,
Knoxville.
right. I know
Uh,
what it is. Yeah.
yep. And so they do like this calendar. And so I was chosen for the 2024 calendar. And, you get sponsors, you get paid. And
Okay.
then I've done a bunch of the Harley Davidson calendars, which I enjoy. And
Okay.
then I have my certain photographers. I only work with certain ones that I trust.
Okay.
And we work together and then we submit to certain magazines.
Okay.
And of course that, gets my image out there and it helps them too. So.
Let me ask you, and I want to come back to the magazine part. Let me ask you this on a business level. When photographers take pictures and they submit them, do they own the rights to your pictures or do you own them? Like,
Yeah, see, that's a very
yeah.
some people get in trouble with all that. But so technically, yes, the photographers do own the pictures.
Right.
Now they can get in trouble if they kind of use them and kind of in a defamatory way.
Right.
I guess like I haven't really had too much experience with that just because I work with photographers that I trust. And that's another thing. Like you shouldn't be picking up just any gig because if you get the wrong photographer who takes the wrong picture that you don't like, and then they get it out there and use it, and some photographers sell it too. So
right, yeah, that's why, and that's really why I asked who owns it, because like from what I've seen in the past, like if somebody gets a picture of you or whoever and they sell it, and you come a year later saying he didn't have the right to do that, if my defense as a photographer would be, I took the picture, I own the picture. What you think I'm gonna do? Just sit on it? Like it's once you let me take that picture, it's obviously public domain. It can end up in the public, whether it be tomorrow or 5 years from now. And you should know
yeah.
that until you first did the photo shoot. So that's why I wondered how does that go? Yeah, that's why I asked you.
Yeah, you're totally right. And some photographers, or for some shoots, I've had to sign like a release or whatnot.
Right.
Especially when you start working with companies or
Right.
like publications that they have the rights and you can't, sue them for anything basically.
Right.
So
Right.
you
Yep.
gotta be careful.
That's why I asked that. Now, okay, I did some more research and I see you've been busy here. Magazine covers. You was on the cover of Babe magazine,
Mm-hmm.
Con magazine, Melons magazine,
Yes.
Auto magazine, Moto magazine. We're gonna get to the things, the feature stories that you did. When in terms of those magazines, which one do you think was your biggest exposure and why?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I think my biggest exposure magazine is Outlaw Biker. And just because, yes, that one is in print and you can buy it at like Books A Million, Barnes and Noble. And that's pretty rare nowadays. Like Playboy, they're just online only too. So if you have a print magazine that's sold in stores, that's a big deal, at least for me. And like my dad, he still lives in New York. And I told him, hey, like my magazine is coming out in a few weeks. And so when it was released, he went to Syracuse in New York. And he went to the mall or something and he bought like all these copies. It's just cool that like he's able to see that like in New York.
Cool.
So it's so widespread. So I thought that was pretty special.
Now, Outlaw Biker and Maxim magazine, those are the ones who actually did feature stories on you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and the other ones you were just on the cover and the other ones, right? Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so back to the ones of the cover. Out of the ones that you featured on the cover for, which one was the biggest out of the ones that you featured on the cover?
I'm thinking probably I got them hung up on my wall, so I'm looking. They give me the copies for free, so I'm very thankful. But auto and moto, I think, because just I tend to do well in that area just with the motorcycles and the cars, and I really enjoy posing for that. But just I think it's a bigger audience too, because it's not just people who are looking at the pretty faces, the hot chicks. I'm also posing with like a classic car or a classic motorcycle. So, that helps too.
Hey, when it comes to the the feature in Outlaw Biker, with that being as big as it is, like how did that come about? Did they find you? Did you have an agency submit to them, and they got back in contact? How did that happen right
Well, actually, it's due to my photographer for the most
there? Okay.
part, Scott Powers,
All right.
because
Salute to him.
he's had many years in this business, in this industry. And so he has contacts. In fact, I'm so bummed out. He has this one man who's coming to visit him this weekend, and they're
Right.
doing the shoot for his publication, which is a big magazine. And it's in Nashville. They're renting out like an Airbnb, beautiful pools and everything. And they're just like, why
Okay.
don't you come? I'm like, I have a wrestling show, I can't. But anyway, so he's had a lot of experience. And so he knew the owner of Outlaw Biker. He
Okay.
submitted for them before.
Okay.
And it took a year just for me to get published. I mean, because, they have kind of like a wait list, I guess, or, how they work in new features for the magazine because
Gotcha.
it's so big. Yeah.
Now, I see another thing. The 2023 and 2024 feature model for the Harley Davidson magazine calendar.
Hmm.
Yes. And we all know how big Harley Davidson is right there. So, I mean, talk about that experience right there. I mean, everybody don't get that coming up, So how did you get the feature for Harley Davidson?
Okay. So again, I know one of the photographers. I've shot with him many times.
Relationship, network relationship.
Yes, yes, professional. And so he thought I was a good fit, and my look is kind of tailored to the bikers and the cars, that audience. And so I took that opportunity, and I just love doing it. You get to go into the Harley Davidson dealership, and all these beautiful bikes are all over, and they got the lights and all the girls, and it's a really cool experience. So
if you did, so 2023 and 2024, so you're going to be on there next year then, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So they must have liked what they saw then this time for you to bring you back and do it again for the following year. So,
yes, thank God.
Now, tell us what you can about this acting role you got. You got an acting role in the Tubi documentary that's coming out. I know they won't let you disclose too much, but tell us what can we expect to see with you? What are you doing? Give us a little bit.
Okay, I'll give you as much as I can. But so I portrayed this one lady. I'm just trying to keep it to the bare minimum here. And when I got the offer for the role, I saw her and I'm just like, I got this now. And so people were saying, even her, because I talk with her on social media, and she's great. She's so sweet. She's like, you really look like me, and this is like one of the closest choices that we've ever seen for like one of these. When you do the reenactments, you have to pick someone who looks like the actual person. So I was flattered. And then actually, she sent me this link to an article that was written in Iceland. And so it was all in Norwegian, and I had to translate it. But they're just like, the character or the person who I portrayed, she's very, she approves of me, this American wrestler, portraying her. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's so great. And so see all these opportunities, like I'm having this outreach, and for wrestling too. These people from Germany, just all across the world, are seeing me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, don't mess up.
You're on the right track, man. Now, this documentary comes out in September on Tubi, right? That's all you can pretty much give us right now. But close to that time, you're gonna let us know the name and what's really going on, right? Closer to that time. All right, gotcha. Okay. Well, before we get out of here, I gotta do something with you called the Pick One Challenge. So I'm gonna name two things, and I want you to pick one. You ready? You ready?
Yes.
Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair?
Ric Flair, for sure. I love him. Oh my gosh. Yes.
John Cena or Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Stone Cold. Yeah.
Undertaker or Batista?
Undertaker, of course.
WWE or NWA?
WWE.
WWE. Hip hop or country?
Hip hop. Oh my gosh. You know I hate country. Oh my gosh. Let me just say this. At work the other day, they had this country playlist playing
Right.
all day. And I'm so agitated. I told my technician, I'm like, they have to turn the channel. Like, I can't take this. I know there's probably a lot of country fans out there, especially
They're
since
gonna
I'm in
love you. They're gonna
Tennessee.
love you when they see this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Check this out. See what your rap history is. Nicki Minaj or Lil Kim?
Nicki Minaj. I mean, look, Barbie.
Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B?
Cardi B. She's hilarious.
50 Cent or Jay-Z?
50 Cent. I love it.
Snoop Dogg or The Game?
The Game. The Game.
For real? Okay. Roddy Ricch or Derez Deshawn?
Roddy Ricch.
Schoolboy Q or Kendrick Lamar?
Schoolboy Q.
Last one. Lil Wayne or T.I.?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne?
Always.
All right.
Forever. Yeah.
That was a pick
Love
one
him.
challenge to Miss Katie. So before we get out here, let us know. We'll give everybody your social media information, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and all that. And then also let everybody know what you got going on or something we need to know about. Anything that's upcoming.
Yeah, sure. So my Instagram is King Katie Gannon. My Facebook is Katie Gannon. And those are my two main social media platforms. I do have my own YouTube channel, just Katie Gannon. You may be seeing me on OVW, and that is on Fight TV. And I post everything that I'm featured in on my social media. So just, that's how you can keep up to date. And my future events, of course, with the wrestling, I'm constantly doing shows as many as I can. There's my one TV show. I'm going to try to get some more covers with the modeling. Again, you just never know. Everything's so crazy. So just check me out on Instagram, Facebook. I'll let you know.
You're working and you're hustling. You're working and you're hustling. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. And y'all, that was another segment of the Pimpoholic TV Podcast with your homeboy Maal The Pimp. As y'all also know, go to my website, www.maalthepimp.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Maal The Pimp. And subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is called Pimpoholic TV. And we out of here. Holla.